What is up, guys? Welcome back. On today's video, we're going to be doing a few quick items. On last video, we got the truck up and running, which gave me some much needed motivation to finish this thing up. Today we'll be installing a cold air intake, and we also have a oil catch can that needs to be installed. But these both kind of go hand in hand. So you need this one to actually breathe in air, and this one actually exhales the air and also catches any excess gases and oil as well. So let's quit wasting time, guys. Let's get it. Okay, guys, and this is what comes in the cold air intake kit. So we have the actual air filter box itself, just a little tin box or a sheet metal box. We also have a couple couplers. You have the one that goes on the intake boot, a couple clamps, another boot, the filter adapter with the kind of bootleg K&N, the tube for the intake, and a few miscellaneous items. You have some of the rubbers that go in the box. I really don't know what these are for. These are kind of weird. And we have the little gasket that goes on this opening, and does come with some hardware, which I don't think I'll be using, but we will see. So let's try to mock this thing up and see how everything fits on. And you got to keep in mind, this is like the cheapest budget cold air intake. This is for a Hummer H2, so this is not for a NBS truck or anything else. It's for a Hummer H2. Okay, the first thing we're going to start off is with the air filter box itself. It's a decent little box, nothing crazy, but the first thing we got to do is modify a little bit. It does come with this ring to fit the air filter on this side. So this goes on the inside. In order for this to sit properly, it has to be pretty snug. But I had to modify mine. I had to trim it up just with a sanding disc, just so I could get my my original mass airflow sensor in. So this actually now will slide into here, and I'll use this as a coupler. This is not going to be physically plugged in, but I'm still using it, and it applies to the guys that are not running like a Holley Terminator. And I had to pre-drill these holes, you see here, to match up with some of these, just so I could have this nice and snug. But we'll install the little gasket first. Alright, your gasket's put in. And then I did already pre-drill these holes, so we just gotta line them up. Alright, that's on pretty snug. And then again, like I said, I will be using the stock mass airflow sensor, but it's not going to be utilized as far as monitoring anything. So we're just going to slip it in. Okay, that's a very tight fit. So now we could put on one of these couplers. We need to cut a little slit in here, so line up. Okay, guys, I had to cut a little slit in the rubber boot to fit on the old mass airflow sensor, and I put the clamp on there. I tightened that up. I've already test fitted this, so this tube was a bit too long. I had to cut about, see, about 2 inches off of it for this to work. So this would be the intake side, and this would be the air filter side. So let me show you how it fits real quick. And this would be the intake, the air intake. So this basically just a boot with 2 clamps, and it should slide right in. Okay, guys, and this is what it should look like after you're done cutting it and adjusting it a little bit. So this is the intake boot, this is the pipe. Obviously we had to cut a little piece off of this end, and the adapter with the mass airflow sensor, and this is where the box 6 sits. So the coolant tank is perfect, the reservoir tank, have a little space back there, and then we have to drill this in. But the reason I like this, it utilizes the actual, this is the air duct for the air filter for the original air intake that came with the truck. So it has like a little pocket here, and it sucks air from the front of the truck. So this works out perfect for me. A few things, I got to drill a hole here, so I'll mark it real quick. I think we can put a hole in the center there. Then we have these, which I think I could use. So I'll show you how this works. This will actually go through the bottom. Okay. The nut there. Here we have that one, which I can make a little bracket for it just to hit the fender well, just so this thing is sturdy. It's already sturdy enough, but we'll make sure it doesn't move anywhere. Before I get too far on this, this intake looks really good, but it looks like it's a little too tall. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. It's this lip here. If you look in here, the top of the air filter box is actually hitting the air filter housing, so we're gonna have to trim that a little bit. I think if I go just straight across, it'll be okay. So let's take that out real quick. All right guys, I've marked like the box where it should be cut, so I just marked it off with tape. I'm gonna cut straight on this line. The intake's back on, and I've already trimmed it up, so I took off a little bit off of it. So let's see what it does. And it's clearing it there, but I'm gonna shove my camera in here. I think it's hitting right there, the other corner. So we gotta trim that up just a little bit and put it back in. Okay guys, I've already marked it with the tape and just cut one more time. Alright guys, the intake's back on. So it's a little bit scuffed up, and I'm going to go ahead and sand it down and paint it, but it's pretty much done. You can see the fitment there. And again, we did trim up these. This one. And this one as well. Also got the air filter on, and this utilizes the air filter pocket or the air duct from the original OBS, so it sits perfect. I made a little bracket as well just to hold it in place. So I still got to drill a hole, but this will just be mounted to the wheel tub. I got to put one there and one in the back. One in the back there on the bottom there where the little hole is. But everything works out really, really good. Let me show you real quick once I close the hood. Okay. So this is completely closed. There's a slight gap right there on the top, but everything contours very, very well. And I will be putting the hood insulation back on, well, a new one, but it works out very, very well. So in my opinion, I think this is the best intake for an OBS swap. This is the H2 Hummer air intake. Has a little bit of a bend to it, and also lets you get the radiator hose, which is going right there. So this works out perfect. The only thing I would say, you have to customize it just a little bit, but I'm missing a clamp. I don't know if they didn't ship it out or I lost it, but I have 1, 2, 3. I need one there, but other than that, it works out perfect. Let's jump to the oil catch can. The oil catch can is going to be very, very simple. So the hardest thing for this is just finding somewhere to mount it. So I'll show you real quick. Okay, these would be my my valve cover on the driver's side. So this is where you would typically add oil. So I have one of these bungs. This is a AN10. Let's see if I can take it out for you. It's gonna be really tight. Okay, well, I can't take it out right now. I need a crescent wrench or a tool. But these are already made. If you guys need to know how to make AN lines and AN fittings, look up a video on that. But this just goes plugged into the top of the valve cover. It's the bung that's specially made for it to fit a AN10 fitting. And then on the LS engine, these heads are not universal. I think you could put them on either side. It doesn't matter. So I have a driver's side, a passenger side valve cover on the passenger side, which again, it has the oil little hole there. It's just on the opposite end. So I did the exact same thing, put an AN10 fitting in line, and we just got to run to the front, which I'll show you. We'll mark some holes and we'll drill them out real quick. This is where I'm gonna put my catch can. So we're just gonna mark 2 holes. So mark 1 there. And there. Alright guys, after both of your holes are done, we have 1 and 2, you can install the oil catch can. It's very simple. So 1 bolt there, you got a washer, and then a nut on the back. That one's in. Same thing on that one, nut and washer on the back. Alright, nice and tight, and then we can install our lines. So this would be the one for the passenger side. And then we have our driver's side. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this one. As you've seen, we did the cold air intake. This actually goes on a H2 Hummer. I think it's a 2004 to 2006, I believe, the older one. But it's all done up. I'm missing a clamp. I got to get that ordered up. Everything's installed. I got to make one more bracket and just bolt it down, but that is it. It's completely finished, so it's a pretty good buy. About $64 shipped from eBay. Again, it's the H2 Hummer cold air intake. Works out perfect for this. And of course I did the oil catch can. I have my radiator mocked up just in place. This is the stock radiator that I had in here before, so it sits exactly where it's going to sit. I'm just going to get a new one, but it's out of the way of the oil catch can. As you can see, it fits perfect. It's tucked away. I can still access my hoses. Everything's really clean. Oil catch can was very simple. This was the $25 oil catch can from like Amazon, eBay. They're very cheap. Obviously I did pay for the AN10 fitting lines, the braided lines, also the fittings. Those are separate. But yeah guys, as always, let me know what you guys think. We're getting there. Coming up, I got some headers to finish up installing. You can see they're already on. I was doing some mock-up. I need to do the cooling system along with the fans as well, so that'll be up next, guys. Stay tuned. Okay guys, that's gonna do it for this one. As you saw in the video, we were able to install the Hummer H2 cold air intake. This intake was never meant to fit on an OBS, but it works out perfect. I have seen people do it before. It's just been a bad execution on their part. I'm not gonna say who it is, but I gave you my version of it. It works very well with a few modifications, and it's very budget friendly. There is one other option that I would like to go with. It's just way out of my budget. I think their name is Volant. They make a really nice box. You still need the actual tube to go to the cold air intake, but the actual box is a big plastic one with a kind of like a, what is it, a faceplate. And it says Volant over it. It's very nice cold air filter box, and it utilizes that stock location as well. But it's just way out of my budget. That thing was way over 300 bucks, which this one is a budget friendly one, in my opinion, a better option at 64 bucks with free shipping. So you've seen it did work out pretty good. We also did the oil catch can. So if you've ever worked on any of these LS engines, whenever taking them apart or going to the junkyard, the intake manifold is usually drenched in oil, which is not good. It's kind of like a bad design where they had all the excess gases going back into the intake, and it just kind of collected a lot of oil. So that's not good. So that was the point of the oil catch can. So you also want to have the engine breathing properly, which now it is, and you also want it exhaling any excess gases and oil into that catch can versus the intake. So I hope you guys liked the video today. As always, make sure you comment, like, share, and subscribe. Also follow me on my Instagram at LowLifeYonkis. It's going to get very interesting, so stay tuned guys, and I appreciate everybody watching, and I'll catch you very shortly on the next one.